What's going on? It's Sunday Fun Day. Purple, purple, purple. Got an Easter box here, a little 5 transistor unit. Let a few people jump up in here and get their notifications. Breaker, breaker, Charlie Shibley says. What's going on, Charlie Brown? Charlie Brown. What's up, Molly Moo? Hi, honey. You being a good girl? Hi. You got dirty eyes. Yeah. Oh. Hey, go ahead and get into this. I don't expect a lot of people jumping on YouTube this late hour. But this is a purple and white box. It's kind of hard to see. You can see the board. They're not really nice. So these are, I call standard. 2879 made by HG. 5 of them. One driving 4. Unit ran out really nice. Nice little relay in there. 3 10-gauge power cables going in. Super good King circuit. Tip 41C. And there we go. No potentiometer. Got a little bit extra in the network to control the input reflection, which is extremely low in this. Hey, Molly, you going to say hi to everybody? Hi. You going to sit? You going to sit and wave to everybody? Molly, you going to wave? Sit. Gonna wave? Say what's up. Say how are you guys? You good? You gonna shake? Let me shake. Yeah, good girl, huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. And then what? I know it's not a Mozilla. No, it's not a Mozilla. It's a Zippy box. It's a Psycho Zip box. Yeah, you know it. What's up, Zip? He looks tired. All right. So let's get this going. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys what I normally run on here. This is a 25 watt input reflex slug. This is going back to my radio. I'm going to show a 50 watt slug showing what my radio is putting out. I will be also testing. I'll throw this in line as I do it. This is a 500 milliwatt slug. This is a half a watt. So I'll use this to show you the input reflection is very, very low. And then we'll be looking at a 1000 watt slug and a 2500 watt slug. So back in regular business, 5/16 bolt. For your ground, slew cord keeper, remote jack, and good SOs and etc. So the fan kit I have to put together, but box is on, white LED, on off, pretty easy. So again, it is just a 5 transistor unit, up and running really well. Let me change this piece of coax, and as I'm changing the coax, I'll explain this. It has a 12-foot piece. But it's going through this here Texas Star, so I want to bypass that. Just for I won't turn it on and break this. So, phase angle of coax, the VOP of the coax I run is 0.66. I run this in my mobile, on my test bench here. I do run Helix and etc. on my base station. That's going to be changed over probably this spring and going to go to a little bigger coax. But with that said, what we have here and now is the VOP is 0.66 on all of the coax that I'm running in here. This little coax that you see here is RG58UPE made by Belden 9201. Now this falls into the family of 0.66 or the VOP or property of velocity of propagation. Now people don't understand. I might say 12 foot. Well, politically correct, it would be a half a wavelength electrically. Now if you say, oh, I'm using a 6-footer jumper, let's say for channel 6, it would be a quarter wavelength, which only falls under this family, 0.66. So this mini 8 here, the 9201, 213, 214, 217, and 218 is all that family. It's not the same family as the LMR family or the Helix family or the Teflon families. Those are all different VOPs. Actually, the Teflon family is probably about the closest. Like 393 would be very close to 0.66. It's actually 0.69. Sometimes manufacturers put 0.70. What's up, Jigga Man? 0.70 for most Teflons, like 393. I can confirm that it's 0.69. Now you get into the 3/16 of an inch, or you could get into the 1/4 inch, which would be the RU142. There's a lot of different Teflons in there. So if you guys are trying to trim coax or cut your coax to the proper lengths that we need to run for our equipment. I don't care what coax you use, but you do need to run a half a wavelength from your radio to the input of your amplifier. A half a wavelength. I don't care who the manufacturer is, whatever that VOP number is, you need to do the math and run a half a wavelength from your radio to your driver or your next piece, and etc. Now, if you had multiple pieces, that order of phase angle could change depending on your driver. It could change depending on how big your big box is, who built it. That makes a big difference. And how well it's tuned up and so forth for input reflection and all that. You get an amplifier and you get a guy who's like, oh yeah, you got to run 3 foot, or you have to run 8 foot, or you have to run 7 foot of coax. That means the amplifier, oh, that's the only way the amplifier works. That don't mean the amplifier is actually tuned properly. I would probably say that's a pretty big red flag. But with that said, HGs are what we have today. I have people say, oh, I can't believe I've seen a 1,000 watt 4-pill. Okay, yeah, you can believe it or not. If you're in perfect world, you have a dummy load, you have the volts, you have a super good radio technician. 711 does pretty much all my radios, and he's really good. He's spectrum analyzed bench, the whole $15,000 yard long bench. So the guys put time in to learn. You're going to have good results. You got to follow some rules. If you can follow the rules, you're going to be very successful in either taking care of your own equipment, doing general maintenance, maybe doing some repairs, possibly even building something. Knock yourselves out. It's a big old world out there. But you need to learn on yourselves before you take and learn on someone else's dime. That's my biggest pet peeve is guys get out there and they try to learn, and they learn with somebody else's money, and it costs that person food off their table because you did not give them a product that was worth 2 wooden nickels. So, with that said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run radio. We'll leave it right there at 14.7. Big power supply up here, 14.9. The meter's off a little bit down here tonight, but 14.9, there's the amperage up there. And we'll be able to take and monitor both of those at the same time. My other amp meter is in the ugly truck that I'm used to using, but we can do it with this one up here because we know it's functioning. So let's look at the slugs one more time. We'll get this test started. 25 watt slug is going to show my input reflection between my radio and this driver. I am running 12 foot or electrically 1/2 wavelength into this amplifier and 1/2 wavelength electrically out to my resident dummy load up there on top. So 25 watt slug and 50 watt slug. Radio is going to be on the 50. All right, 1,000 watt and 2,500. All right, so let's just take a peek at the voltage and amperage. Audio 72 at 14.8. Pretty happy little box right there. I'm happy to see it's running good. All right, let's take a look at these input reflection and radio drive. Let's take a peek at the radio drive first. 50 watt slug, each line is 1 watt. Center scale. Audio, about 10.5 RMS. All right, here's your input reflection, 25 watt slug. Audio, now it's showing me about 1/2 watt right there. All right, now we already all know that you get a smaller slug, it might show you something else. Well, here's 1/2 watt slug. So 25 watt slug, yeah, Bird says, Coaxial Dynamics says, they all say your best calibration is approximately half scale on a Bird. So here's 1/2 watt slug now. All right, this is my input reflection. Full scale on 50 is 1/2 watt. All right, here you go. Audio. So I'm at 20 milliwatts. So I'm at 1/2. So approximately about 1/4 watt input reflect. All right, about 1/4 watt. Now let's see how close this 25 watt slug is again. And I had about 1/4. Audio. So it's generously seeing 1/2 watt is what it's showing me there. All right, let's move on up here to the 1,000 watt scale. Bottom, each line is 20 watts. 1,000 watt slug RMS. Here you go. Audio. Looks like about a solid 580. Audio. Maybe showing me about 650 on that slug. But that's what the radio is doing, about 10.5 watts bird. Let's say you don't have a radio that does 10.5 bird. Let's back this voltage down. Let's back it all the way down. Let's see what we're going to do with this. All right, so the lowest I can go is 12.4 on this throat carrier. All right, let's take a peek at my input drive level now from my radio. 50 watt slug, each line's 1/2 watt, center scale. Audio. All right, so that is 5, 6, 7 watts. Audio. Touch over 7 watts bird. All right, here's your input. Oh, all right, very good. And you see it drop down because I have lesser drive. Well, watch my power drop. Audio. All right, so I'm doing 460 RMS with a 7.5 watt radio. Pretty realistic. Let's take a look at those amps and volts again. Audio. 61 amps. So I went from 74, 75 amps down to 61. So that's quite a bit of a decrease. Molly, where you at? Come here, Mo. What's up, baby? How you doing? Yeah, what were you doing? You're getting some water? Yes? You gonna sit? Come here, sit. You gonna wave to everybody? Say, hey, what's up? It's a weekend. It's Sunday fun day, right? Sunday fun day? Molly, is it? It is, isn't it? I know, we had fun. We built a box. Yeah, I know it wasn't too fun. You got a nap. You did. You slept through the whole thing. Well, let's see this guy. What's he doing? Is he sleeping again? Come here, Zippy. Let's get a shake. All righty. Get up here. What do you think? Woohoo! I know he's putting the R up. He's putting the hair in the R up. Yes. He's putting Zippy DNA. You can't fit on the bench. You're too big. You got a big butt. Yes, you do. Zippy. Come on, Zip. Let's take a review. Come on, take a look. What do you think, man? You like it? What do you think, Zippy? You like this one? Pretty cool? Good stuff? You like it? You ready to go to Louisiana? Huh? Go see some crocodiles? Go see some crocodiles? We're going to key down? Yeah, we're going to key down. Yep. A little co-pilot. Molly, you ready to key down? You ready to go see alligators? Huh? I think she wants you. I think she wants to eat you. Go ahead, jump down. What are you going to do with him now? You wanted him. You got him. Well, there you go, guys. One little 5 transistor unit. I was not going to build this until I got back from Louisiana, but I had a day and I took in and just kind of just cruised through this one today. It was kind of nice to sit down and build in the shop, not working out in the cold weather or the cold floor or crawling around out in the shed on some trucks. I got a lot of stuff to do with trucks this summer, base stations to do this summer. I'll be pretty busy all summer, I think. I have quite a bit going on, but I actually have some builds coming up that are going to be, I'm kind of excited about it. I have a 32 pill. It's going to be a theme amp that I'm working on. I have some new power supply stuff I'm coming up and be putting together here really soon and debuting that. Got a pretty good slot filled full of action-packed things to do. So definitely don't get bored around here. But with that said, here's a little 5 transistor unit, HD 2879. It is purple in front. It looks blue in the camera, but amp works really good. Again, no potentiometer. You have to have a little bit of control. Let's look at the controller radio. Let's look at some dead keys real quick. All right. So where's I at? All right. Let's turn this up here. Let's go up where I like it. All right. Right about, we'll go right there. Cool. All right. All right. So let's take a look at, and people ask a lot. They say, where do I set my dead key? Do I turn my amp off and go over here and I do this and I adjust it and I go up and I go down and I got it, I think, right there. I want it right there. No, you don't do it that way. You turn the amp on, turn your radio all the way down, okay? Then you go over here. Well, actually, I don't even look at that. That's the radio one. I don't even look at that one. I look at my full output of my radio. All right. Well, I'm trying to get these things off my screen. Can't do it. Okay. So I have to go around it. All right. So I have the amplifier on. No dead key on my radio. You hear a key. See it moving. All right. Let's set a dead key. There's 200 watts. All right. 200. If I just throw a carrier of 200 watts, let's see what my radio is putting into it working. 1 watt. 1 watt gave me 200. So let's see what 2 watts do. Ooh. She's up there. Too much. You still have forward drive. But I don't run at 400. I'm doing 580, close to 6, right? Ayo. I like to split it in half. This is where I tell a lot of people to do it. So about 200, 250, 300. Right in there. So there's a 300 watt carrier. About 1.25 watts, 1.5 watts. All right, cool. Ayo. 580 all day. Ayo. Easy peasy. So, a good rule of thumb is, where do you set your dead key? Don't spend your time trying to shut the amplifier off and dial up your input of your radio, or your dead key, your radio up to a certain number. It don't do you any good. It really don't. Turn on the amplifier, take a dial watt, back it all the way down, and then just bring it up to a comfortable dead key. 200 would be minimum. What I say is about half of what you can overall swing in RMS or average mode. So you set your carrier in half. So I don't care if you have an amplifier that's doing 2,000 watts RMS. You set your carrier level at about half. So you would set your carrier about 1,000 to 1,200 watts and let it eat from there. It's like the 12 pill I run down here. I take and I set my carrier at 1,000 watts, 900 watts, right in there. I talk forward to 1250. That's why you hear me say I have 1,200 pigeons out there, because that's all I'm running in a 7 element. But just a good rule of thumb, the easiest way to set up the entirety of your system, your driver, your big box, the whole bit, turn it all on. Take your level, your dead key level on your radio and back it all the way down. Key up, nothing's going to happen. Turn the knob until something does happen. You start seeing that bird move. As soon as you see it move, then you start paying attention. Remember what slug you have in line for. You won't throw too high of a carrier. All right? So if I take and back my carrier level all the way down, there, that's what's going to happen. Just like that. Then you just dial it up wherever you want. Nah, I didn't shut my mic gain off. So you go like this. You do it all day. All day, all day, all day long. So, any way you want to cut, how you want to run your stuff, don't do this. That's just wasting energy. I threw a 700 watt carrier. Yeah, they'll do that, but don't start talking into them, man. Start backing birds up and smoke comes roaring out the back end of your box. Like, what did I do? I had too much dead key. Don't be afraid of them. Now, what's really important of what I just showed everybody is, if your dead key is too low, you will literally cause any amplifier to go into an oscillation that you can't hear. Now, you might be able to hear it if you have a monitor station or a set of headphones on that's in some sort of a way that you can monitor your station. But if your carrier is too low, here's the signs that you can help maybe your friends. If you know they're on a base station sitting in a lazy boy with all the windows shut in their house, no air conditioning running and no fan running directly behind them, and it sounds like they're in a wind tunnel going 75 miles per hour on a Harley, then that means your carrier is too low. If you bring that up, that will diminish and your audio level will appear and be really loud. Oh man, I got the big swinger box. No. They all swing. They'll do whatever you want. These are mules. These things, that's the brain. And you tell that brain, you tell that what to do, and it does it. Simple. You have to have, first and foremost, a super good radio tech. Can't trust everybody who's got a golden screwdriver and $25. No. Pick a good radio tech. Stick with the guy. work with him. Work with your amp builder if it's me or somebody else, whoever you pick. Cool. I hope they're doing a good job for you, especially your radio techs. There's only a handful of good ones in the country, and uh, everybody else is, oh, Lord. Yeah, just doing it. All right. So, with that said, I got to slide out of here. There's places I got to go. People have got to see. I'm out of here. Take care. Metalhead, what's up? Welcome to the weekend. It's over. See y'all later. I'm out.